The Condor Legion was a unit composed of military personnel from the Air Force of Germany, which served with the nationalist faction during the Spanish Civil War from 1936 until 1939. Besides the potential for gains in combat experience, it is also thought that various strategic initiatives and technical innovations were first tried as part of the Luftwaffe involvement in this conflict. One of these innovations was the drop tank, which was first used during the Spanish Civil War to allow fighter aircraft and dive bombers to carry additional fuel for long-range flights without requiring a dramatically larger, heavier, and less maneuverable fuselage. When World War II began, the Luftwaffe started using external fuel tanks with the introduction of the 300-liter light alloy model for the Junkers Ju-87R, a long-range version of the Stuka dive bomber in early 1940. The letter R was an abbreviation for Reichweite or operational range. They were primarily intended for anti-shipping missions. The Ju-87R had a B-series airframe with an additional oil tank and fuel lines to the outer wing stations to permit the use of two 300 liters standardized capacity under-wing drop tanks. It was used by a wide variety of Luftwaffe aircraft throughout the war. This increased fuel capacity to 1,080 liters, 500 liters in the main fuel tank, plus 600 liters in the drop tanks. To prevent overload conditions, bomb carrying ability was often restricted to a single 250 kg bomb in the aircraft was fully loaded with fuel. Due to an increase in overall weight, the dive bomber was approximately 30 km per hour slower than the B-1 version and had a lower service ceiling, but it had an increased range advantage of 360 kilometers. The Messerschmitt 109 fighter also used this type of drop tank, starting with the Messerschmitt Bf 109E7 variant introduced in August of 1940. One of the limitations of the earlier versions was their short range of 660 kilometers and limited endurance, as the design was originally conceived as a short-range interceptor. The E7 rectified this problem, and it was the first subtype to be able to carry a drop tank, usually the standardized Luftwaffe 300-liter capacity unit mounted on a central line rack under the fuselage, which increased its range to 1,325 kilometers. Alternatively, a bomb could be fitted, and the E7 could be also used as a fighter bomber. A total of more than 430 E7s of all variants were built. At least one aircraft which came down in Britain in late October of 1940 was similarly modified. So the Luftwaffe also experimenting with auxiliary fuel tanks on fighters during the Battle of Britain period. But it appears that the whole-scale introduction would not start until only after the battle, as the E7 began to reach frontline units in time for operations in the East. Fitted also to the Focke-Wulf 190, the 300-liter tank, available in at least 4 construction formats, including at least one impregnated paper material, a single-use version, and varying only slightly in appearance, became the standard volume for most drop tanks in the Luftwaffe service. During the war, the German Air Force used bigger drop tanks as well. A large 900-liter capacity fin-stabilized drop tank was used with some marks of the Messerschmitt Bf 110 heavy fighter and other twin-engined Luftwaffe combat aircraft. Of course, the bomb load had to be reduced to accommodate the extra weight. This picture of the Junkers Ju-88A4 was taken in late 1942 and clearly shows the auxiliary fuel tanks that was situated under the port wing route. Long-range reconnaissance missions were frequently undertaken with two 900-liter drop tanks to maximize the range of this aircraft.